This is the corner of Beckley and Neely, where Oswald was dropped off. We're looking directly down Neely Street towards the Oswald apartment. Here we're looking back at Beckley Street, so we're out front of the Neely Street apartment, and we'll see it right here. There it is, in sad repair. 214 on the right is the Oswald apartment upstairs. It leads upstairs. This is their apartment with the veranda out front, which reportedly Marina loved sitting out there with her baby. The Oswalds were only in this apartment for 2 months. As you can see, it's in terrible repair. This is July of 23. It was about the same time during these 2 months that Oswald ordered both of his firearms, his rifle and his pistol, and he received them at the post office box in Dallas. But it was here on Neely Street, where he was living, that he received those items. Interesting thing about the rental of the house was owned by Mr. Waldo George, and he didn't live there, but he rented them out. And according to his affidavit to the commission, he said, "On March 2nd, 1963, I was advised by Mrs. George that an individual by the name of Oswald had inquired about renting the apartment. I met the individual, who identified himself as Lee H. Oswald. Later that day, I advised him that the rent for the apartment was $60 a month, and he rented the apartment on a month-to-month basis, paying me $60 in cash for 1 month's rent in advance. And then on April 1st, 1963, I collected $60 in cash from Oswald, covering the rent for the month of April 63 and including May 2nd, 1963. 2 or 3 days later, myself and Mrs. George called on the Oswalds in their apartment and invited them to attend the Gaston Avenue Baptist Church with us. He informed me and Mrs. George that he attended the Russian Orthodox Church, although they were not regular in their attendance because they had to depend on their friends to take them. During this visit, Oswald stated that he had met his wife while he was serving in the United States Marines as a guard at the United States Embassy in Russia, and had married his wife in Russia. I made direct inquiry of him as to whether he had had any difficulty getting out of Russia with his wife, and he said that he had no difficulty whatsoever. Neither myself or Mrs. George saw Oswald again at any time thereafter. Oswald did not pay rent for the succeeding rental period of May 2nd through June 2nd, 1963. Because my attention was diverted to other matters, I did not go by the apartment to collect the rent for that period until several days after May 2nd, 1963. When I arrived at the apartment, I found it vacant. And this stairway, as we'll look up here, this stairway led to the entrance, the back entrance of the house. And this is why Oswald loved this place, because that entrance led into a small office where he kept locked off from Marina all of his papers and secret stuff, and she was not allowed to really go into that room. So I would think that Oswald used this entrance more than the front entrance to go in and out of his apartment. He was very clandestine. He did not like neighbors seeing what he was doing. And of course, here is the famous Oswald photograph of him holding the rifle, pistol and the questionable literature. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this little a bit of trivia about the Neely Street apartment. Be sure to watch my other videos. We have about 45 of them here. Please comment, and if you haven't subscribed, please do.